Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Heading back 84 years this Friday, an episode of Calling All Cars, the West Coast crime procedural, before they called them crime procedurals. Back then they were just cop shows, sponsored by Rio Grande Gasoline, in the case of the Azure Ring. And we thank you for tuning in on this Friday, 20th day of January, 20th day of the year, 345 days remaining until we get to 2024. Hong Kong Island, occupied by the British on this date in 1841. The roller coaster, patented on this date in 1885. The Senate allowed the Navy to lease Pearl Harbor as a Navy base in 1887. That was long before it was a state. At the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts, the first official basketball game played, 1892. In 1920, the American Civil Liberties Union founded. In Old Arizona in 1929, the first full-length talking film filmed outdoors released. And in 1936, Edward VIII became King of the United Kingdom. Let's see, among presidents inaugurated on this date, 1937, Franklin Delano Roosevelt inaugurated for his second term as president.
Wealth of national resources. Its 130 million people are at peace among themselves. They are making their country a good neighbor among the nations. But here is the challenge to our democracy. In this nation, I see tens of millions of its citizens, a substantial part of its whole population, who at this very moment are denied the greater part of what the very lowest standards of today call the necessities of life. I see 1/3 of a nation ill-housed, ill-clad, ill-nourished.
Now, this was the first inauguration that was scheduled on January 20th. Previous inauguration scheduled on March 4th. The 20th Amendment changed that date from March 4th to January 20th. Hungary ended its involvement in the Second World War on this date in 1945, agreeing to an armistice with the Allies. 1953, General Dwight D. Eisenhower retired, sworn in as 34th President of the U.S. 1961, JFK, John Kennedy, inaugurated as the youngest man and first ever Roman Catholic to become elected President of the United States. The President delivered his one and only inaugural address, 1,364 words, the fourth shortest inaugural address ever delivered.
All this will not be finished in the first 100 days. Nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Others inaugurated on this date of note: Richard Nixon in 1969, Jimmy Carter in 1977. And an item of note, 20 minutes after Ronald Reagan inaugurated as president, Iran releasing 52 American hostages.
I'm thinking also of those who risked their lives and those who gave their lives on a desert in Iran for their fellow Americans with an utmost show of courage and conviction and a commitment to freedom. In this time of rejoicing, their sacrifice, their grief, their pride, their patriotism must not be forgotten by any American.
That, of course, not President Reagan, but in fact President Jimmy Carter, who was involved in that. Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebrated on the first time on this date in 1986 as a federal holiday for the first time. Also inaugurated as president on this date, George Herbert Walker Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, presidents 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, Donald Trump in 2017, and Joe Biden in 2021. At 78, the oldest person ever inaugurated, and Kamala Harris, the first female vice president, inaugurated on this date as well. Passing away on this date in history, disc jockey Alan Reed, Johnny Weissmuller, Barbara Stanwyck, fine actress Audrey Hepburn, musician Jerry Mulligan, pro wrestler Bobo Brazil, Carol Burnett's daughter Carrie Hamilton, also caricaturist Al Hirschfeld, Nedra Volz, All in the Family, Laugh-In, Dukes of Hazzard, also Big Mama, Etta James, and Meatloaf, who passed away last year on this date. Looking at people born on this date, George Burns, who made it to 100. DeForest Kelley, also Bones from Star Trek. Singer Slim Whitman, born on this date. Patricia Neal, the fine actress. Also the very funny Artie Johnson. Roller derby queen Joan Weston. And singer, dancer, actress Dorothy Provine. This is birthday number 101 for trumpeter, bandleader, actor Ray Anthony. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin is 93. The fourth Doctor Who, Tom Baker, 89. Kisses, Paul Stanley, 71. Bill Maher is 67. Lorenzo Lamas, 65. John Michael Montgomery, 58. Dwight in The Office, Rainn Wilson, 57. From Clueless, Stacey Dash is 56. Joan Rivers' daughter, Melissa Rivers, 55. From Reno 911, Carrie Kenny Silver, 53. From Scream and Riverdale, Skeet Ulrich is 53. From the OC and Bullet Club in WWE, Carl Anderson, 43. And country singer Brantley Gilbert, 38. Those some of the people celebrating the 20th day of January as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
Going back 84 years, January 20th, 1939, calling all cars on this Friday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Friday. Now we go back 84 years, January 20th, 1939, calling all cars in the case of the Azure Ring.
Calling all cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars, broadcast 269 regarding a holdup. Be on the lookout for a man described as dark complexion, medium height, has black eyes. This man is wearing a ring with a blue stone. He may try to pawn the ring. That's all. Rosenquist.
Rio Grande is justly proud of its great motor oil, Realube, and tens of thousands of you motorists throughout the West tell us that this pride is just and well-earned. Yes, we are so proud of Realube that we don't want anything to happen to it on its way from the refinery to your crankcase. We insist that no dust or dirt finds its way into this pure 100% paraffin-based lubricant. Realube is so expertly refined that engine heat cannot break down its great film strength. It's so flexible that it flows smoothly and rapidly to every moving part of your motor, even in freezing weather. It must reach your crankcase with all the strength and purity we put into it, and without even the most remote possibility of dilution or substitution. For that reason, Realube is sealed in airtight, dust-proof, tamper-proof cans, and Rio Grande signs its name on each container. Thus, you're not guessing. You know what you're getting. The finest quality motor oil sold in the West. And if it's time you had the oil changed, get Realube tomorrow when you stop in for that tank full of Rio Grande Cracked, the most highly recommended gasoline sold in the West, the gasoline of real police car performance. The story we are to hear tonight has been taken from the confidential files of the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. We have therefore asked Assistant Chief Deputy District Attorney Edwin Myers to prepare a foreword to our program. Mr. Myers.
Although the crime we are to dramatize tonight was not recently solved, it nevertheless proves the truth of the statement. Crime does not pay. We have heard many comments from listeners to this program asking why we always deal with stories that are more or less current in the courts. Therefore, we decided to dig into our records to see what we could find that would prove our point. Crime does not pay. We came across the story we are giving you tonight. I think that it proves most conclusively that regardless of how clever a man may think he is, or how careful he is to cover his crimes, he can never hope to profit by breaking the law.
It is a moonless night in the year 1853, and outside the low adobe house of William Wolfe, two shadowy figures are crouched in hushed conversation. The heavier of the two speaks.
You are a fool, Senati. There will be no reason to kill anyone here. Old Wolf will not recognize either of us.
Just the same, it would be safer where the dead men tell no tales.
You talk as though I, the great bandit Verde Moreno, were afraid. I say let them live. They are useful citizens of our pueblo. And besides, there is the beautiful daughter, Juana.
Someday a woman will be the death of you.
What of that? But come, enough foolishment. All is quiet inside. We will enter by the patio door. It is always open.
You use the same procedure, no?
Certainly. Come.
Old Wolf may have a gun.
What of that? He will not try to use it. He will be afraid of hitting some member of his own family. Open the door.
See?
I will go first. And remember, do not use your knife. This is Doña Wolf's room. We will find the necklace she wears. The beautiful one of pearls. Light the candle. See. Oh, over there is the bureau. Look in the jewel box. I will stand guard should the good lady awaken. Be quick. We cannot stay here all night. See. Hurry. Doña is restless. I do not want to have a scene if we can help it.
Here's a necklace. Earrings to go with it.
Good. Now we will visit the bedroom of the Señorita Juana. There is a lapis ring I would like to have.
A lapis ring? That is not worth much, Verde.
To me, it is worth something. The door is slightly open. You wait here on guard. Caramba, does every door in this house squeak? The Señorita sleeps. So beautiful, so young. Oh, the candlelight disturbs her. Yeah, it is dark now. Do not cry out, Señorita. I am a bandit who will shoot you with his long black pistol.
What do you want?
What does a robber usually want?
There are no jewels or money in this room.
No? Very well, I will leave. But first that ring. I will take it.
You mean this lapis?
But of course. Hurry, Señorita. I'm not used to waiting.
But it is a present.
Engagement?
Perhaps.
Oh, that is too bad. Well, in that case, I will only borrow it.
Borrow it?
See, I will return it to you within a week.
But I don't understand.
Señorita, I love you.
Oh.
I have loved you these many months now. I want something you have very much, if just for a short time.
You are a strange bandit.
I am a man. I have feelings. I can hate. I can love. Is it so wrong to be a bandit?
But if you are who I think you are, you kill people.
Why not? If I do not kill them, they would kill me.
But that is wrong. You are a murderer.
You are not afraid of me?
Well, no. So far, you've given me no reason to be afraid.
Then give me the ring, senorita. I would not want you to have reason to feel other than you do.
And if I refuse?
Then I will take it.
And if I should scream?
Then I should have to shoot you, querida mia.
You would kill me in cold blood.
Why not? Many a man kills the thing he loves most.
Please go. Here is your ring. I do not like you. I am afraid of you.
Gracias, senorita. I will keep my promise and return the ring on another night.
I hate you.
You hate me? And yet you do not even attempt to protect yourself with your bed covers?
How dare you?
Adios, senorita. Oh, and, senorita, do not try to warn your father or arouse the household after I leave. My friend Sonati is very nervous, and he might shoot someone.
Sonati? And who are you? I thought...
That I was Sonati? No, senorita. I am the brains behind Sonati. A pleasant dream, senorita.
Did you get the ring?
But of course.
I hear you talking to her. Yeah. What does she say?
That, my friend, is none of your business. Come. We will see what there is in the old man's room.
We better go. The girl will make a fuss.
I think not. Follow me.
It is useless. He does not have anything of value in his room. And his money he keeps in the bank.
How do you know he has nothing of value in his room?
I just know it, that's all.
Hand it over, you lizard. I said hand it over or I will take it from you. Take it from your dead body, Savi.
But what are you...
Quiet, you fool. What are you hiding? Hand it over.
Put up your hands or I'll shoot.
Senor.
So, Sonati and a friend. The Rangers have been looking for you, and today there was a reward posted for your apprehension.
A reward?
You're a dangerous man, Sonati.
Sonati? I am not Sonati. He is. You insult me, my friend.
What? But you seem to be the leader.
Quien sabe? Who knows? However, senor, I would not concern myself too much with such matters. You see, my little friend Sonati is very clever. He has men nearby who will come when they hear his whistle.
No, you can't scare me. Quiet now. Don't wake Mother or the rest of the household.
Come, Sonati. Adios, amigo. Thanks to the beautiful senorita, we are safe at our hideout.
See? I still think it would have been a good idea to have killed the senor.
Pablo, bring some more wine.
Si.
Jesus, you will give the horses fresh water.
But I just give
them fresh water, Jesus.
Si, well.
Peaks. Now then, my friend, we will finish the discussion Senor Wolf so rudely interrupted.
Please, Ready. Put the gun down. I give it to you.
That is better, my friend. I am glad to see you so generous. But I warn you, if you ever try to trick me again, I will kill you. Now get out, pronto.
Si, I go ready.
A nice gold watch with the letter W on the back. Oh, this is very nice party, Senor Wolf.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Mr. Moreno. Will you have some more wine?
Oh, perhaps a little bit more. I never drink very heavily in company.
No?
No. You see, sometimes I talk too much about business.
Oh, and how is business?
Oh, business, it is not so good. The trading is very slow.
But you seem to have plenty of money.
Oh, I have enough, but I am not getting to be a rich man if it were not for my outside interest.
Outside interest?
Yeah, my silver mines in Mexico. Yeah, I have 2 silver mines in Sonora.
Well, how interesting. Juanita.
Hello, Father. Good evening, Mr. Moreno.
Buenas noches, señorita. You are more lovely than ever tonight.
Thank you.
She's getting to be quite the young lady. You know, I expect I'll have to get her married off soon.
Oh, Father.
I will envy the man who wins her. Perhaps there's already someone?
No, not yet, Mr. Moreno.
But your ring. You are not wearing your ring.
Why, haven't you heard the news?
Oh, Mr. Moreno's been out of town. You see, we were robbed 2 nights ago.
Madre de Dios. Sonati?
Yes, he and a partner broke in around midnight and took my wife's pearl necklace, one is Lappy's ring, and my watch.
Oh, no. That is too bad. Something should be done about it. There has been too many such robberies of late.
Killings?
Sure.
Oh, I'd like to get my hands on this bandit.
See, I understand there is a reward for his apprehension, dead or alive.
Yes, $1,000.
$1,000, eh? Oh, that is a lot of money.
And somebody'll get it, and I, for one, will be only too glad to see him die.
Oh, good evening, Juanita.
Well.
Good evening to you, sir. And to you, Mr. Marino.
Mr. Duke, how are you?
I must compliment you on your party, Mr. Wolf.
Eh? Thank you. You know, it's always a pleasure to have you present, Mr. Duke.
We were discussing this thief, Sonati.
Sonati. He should be strung up and roasted like a pig. The Rangers seem powerless to capture him.
But they will, and especially since there's been $1,000 reward offered for his capture, dead or alive.
I am in favor of the vigilante committee. Form a posse and go after him.
No. Then we'd be taking the law into our own hands. I say it's best to let the officers capture him.
$1,000 for Sonati, dead or alive.
What did you say, Mr. Marino?
Oh, nothing. I was thinking out loud.
Well, let's talk of something else. The talk is too serious.
Oh, may I have the pleasure of dancing with you, Senor?
Of course.
If you gentlemen will excuse me.
But certainly. Certainly. An interesting man, that Marino.
Yes, quite. Rather mysterious.
You know, there's something about him that seems remotely familiar.
Yes?
Never noticed it before, but he faintly reminds me of someone. His voice and mannerisms.
Well, I can't agree with you there. He's distinctly individual.
Well, perhaps, but I can't seem to get rid of that feeling.
Well, he's a very, very graceful dancer. And look at him pivot. And how gracefully Juanita follows him.
Mm-hmm. They do make a good pair, don't they? Of course, he's much too old for her.
January 20th, 1939, Calling All Cars on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news from 84 years ago today comes up following these important messages from your favorite station. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We're listening to an episode of Calling All Cars as it was originally broadcast on Friday, January 20th, 1939. In the newspapers of that Friday, 84 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Attorney General Frank Murphy announced yesterday new efforts to speed up the wheels of justice. At his first press conference, the new Attorney General said he had directed all U.S. attorneys to report with suitable explanations and suggestions on all pending cases which have been on the dockets for over 2 years. The reports must be submitted within 30 days. In dispatching these letters, the Attorney General explained it was his purpose to cut delays and arrears of business in the offices of the attorneys and to expedite the disposition of government civil and criminal cases in federal courts. Retired British Air Corps Captain Julius P. Ingerfield was shocked last night by the arrest of 2 house guests who police said robbed his neighbors while wooing his daughters. The guests were 28-year-old brothers Peyton Wilson and 22-year-old Quentin Wilson. Detective Sergeant Joseph Munley said they confessed numerous holdups from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. Peyton Wilson later admitted that he had a wife and 5-year-old daughter in New Orleans. John J. Grouch, New Orleans chief of detectives, informed police that Peyton's wife, Elma, and a daughter, June, were with him during a holdup there. The surrender of $9,000 to $10,000 in smuggled jewels by Mrs. Elma N. Lauer, wife of a state Supreme Court justice in New York, disclosed yesterday. Meanwhile, the government announced no more indictments were imminent in a celebrity entangling inquiry set off by a servant girl's outcry against criticism of Nazi Germany. Many Broadway and Hollywood personages have been questioned, and some summoned as witnesses against the one defendant who plans to fight the charge of conspiracy to smuggle, radio comedian Jack Benny. The present status of those involved: Mrs. Lauer, pled guilty to an indictment linking her with the central figure in all the cases, Albert N. Chappell, disavowed diplomat of the Nicaraguan government, and now awaits sentencing. Radio comedian George Burns, ditto. Chappell, convicted after the Lauer case after waiving jury trial and staking his case on the disallowed claim of immunity from customs inspection as a commercial attaché of the Nicaraguan consulate. He pled guilty in the Benny and Burns cases and now awaits sentencing, pled innocent to indictment charges charging fraud of obtaining and use of passport. Benny pled innocent and made general denial. Trial set for January 24th, but may be delayed a week or 10 days. Witnesses called include Burns' wife and radio partner Gracie Allen, Jack Pearl, and Kenny Baker. Gertrude Browse, merchandise advisor of a trade publication, offered these views yesterday on women's fashions at a symposium on what every woman should know about her clothing. Quoting, "A businesswoman should present a trim, tailored outline, wearing what is known in the trade as a basic dress or suit, around which she can create ensembles of changes in accessories. The athletic type should stick to casuals, even at her country club dinner dances, where she wears cottons, linens, and spun rayons. And the strictly feminine types? There's no need to give advice to that type. They were born with the idea." Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Friday, January 20th, 1939, on your radio, Calling All Cars. The conclusion next on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. Saturday on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Freeman Gosden, Charles Correll as Amos and Andy. From January 21st, 1951, when the Kingfish's mama-in-law moves in with him, he becomes determined to rekindle her romance with Mr. Smithers of Florida, thinking that he's really wealthy. That comes up on tomorrow's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. But now the conclusion of Calling All Cars and the case of the Azure Ring from 84 years ago, January 20th, 1939.
And I'm afraid a none too successful businessman.
Eh? Why do you say that? He always seems to have plenty of money. Why, he was just telling me a little while ago about some silver mines of his he had in Sonora.
Well, that might be so, but just the same, he comes in most frequently to my shop and sells jewels.
Well, what of that? Even I have had to seek aid from you occasionally, Mr. Duke.
Yes, but you always buy back your property. He never does.
Huh? Well, that is odd.
Yes, it is odd, but I never tried to pry into my customers' private affairs. My business is selling and repairing jewelry, not town gossip. Now, you naturally won't repeat what I've just told you.
Why, of course not. Oh, excuse me a moment. I see my wife beckoning to me, and you know how wives are, don't you?
Indeed.
Well, help us have some more wine.
Oh, with pleasure, Mr. Wolf, with pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, you dance divinely, senorita.
Perhaps that's because you're a perfect dancer, Mr. Marino.
I accept the compliment, Juanita. You don't mind if I call you Juanita?
If you wish. That's my name.
I have been thinking of you quite a bit of late. I have even dreamed about you.
So?
You see, I am not a married man, and...
You'll have to speak to my father first, Mr. Moreno.
Then you mean I have a chance, Juanita?
At least I'll think about it.
Oh.
That is, if father would give his consent. You see, I know you very slightly.
Oh, it would not take long to get better acquainted.
No, but I also am not sure that I might want your attentions. I would rather father decide the question. If he agrees, then we might get better acquainted. Not before.
Oh, very well. I will ask him tonight. Now.
I will be interested in what he says. You see, Mr. Marino, you are interesting, and I do like you, but...
Oh, but what?
Well, in the first place, you're older than I.
Does that matter?
And two, you yourself have said that business is not very good.
Oh, think nothing about that. I do not like for everyone to know how much I make or from what source.
And I know nothing of your family.
But you will know me. Is that not enough?
I would rather not answer your questions. Shall we dance?
Of course. I will speak to your father later. Oh, by the way, senorita, here is a lapis ring I found in the patio. Will you wear it for me?
Well, Mr. Moreno. I thought you deserted me for my daughter.
Oh, not entirely, Mr. Wolf.
Will you have some more wine?
Gracias. Mr. Wolf, may I have a word with you in private?
About Juana?
Si.
I don't think that'll be necessary, Mr. Moreno. You know, I wouldn't be entirely at ease if you were to court her.
But, senor...
I'm sorry.
But why?
I have my reasons.
Very well. And no harm in asking.
No, none. Will you have some more wine?
Nada, no. I must be going.
Oh, not so early.
I'm very sorry. I've enjoyed your hospitality to the utmost. Adios.
Well, good night then, Mr. Moreno. Good night.
Leaving the party, Moreno and his gang succeeded in robbing the homes of several of the leading citizens while they were at the Wolves. But in Moreno's mind, a thought was forming. $1,000 was a lot of money. In the mountain hideout, seated around the campfire, Sonati and 4 others are listening to Moreno's plan.
I tell you, it will be easy. Now, you 4 will ride and join the others in Grass Valley. Zanatti and I will raid the warehouse and draw attention away from you men. Comprende?
Si, Verdi.
Bueno. Now get going. There's little time to waste.
Come on, Cesar.
We'd better be on our way too, Verdi.
I think I stay here. It is you who will make the trip.
Alone?
Alone. Sure. By the way, there's $1,000 reward posted for you, dead or alive.
Hey, it was 8,000. Now it's 1,500.
$1,500 American money.
See, I am worth something, no?
More dead than alive, no?
See?
You know, my friend, I like you.
I like you too, Verdi.
Si, senor, I like you. I think I killed you.
And collect the $1,500 reward?
See, that's a good idea, no?
If there was a price on your head, Verdi, I would do the same for you.
You are a real friend. I like you, sure.
Bueno. But, Verdi, if I have to make that ride alone, I think I'd better go.
See, it is time for you to go.
You will wait here for me?
Quien sabe? Who knows?
New knife. You buy it today?
Huh? Oh, this? I pick it up at the Wolf's. It's very sharp, very long. You like it?
See, it's just the kind I've always said I would like.
Sure? Oh, very well, my friend. You may have it.
Why you do this to me, Ved?
I don't know, because I like you. I cannot bear to think of somebody else getting the reward for you.
Reward? That is why you send others away?
Do not exert yourself, my friend. I will shoot you if you reach for your gun. You want some water?
I want only your blood.
$1,500 and hailed as a hero. Maybe now the fair senorita and her father changed their minds. Now, I will load you across my saddle and ride into town with you. Verdi Moreno, you are a clever fellow. You are a great... Caramba! The fools, they are returning.
Yeah, Verdi.
So?
We were not quite sure which of us was to go which way. We thought we had... Madre de Dios, Senate. He's so still.
Why not? He is dead. We quarreled.
That is a lie. You murdered him.
Why, you insulting pig, I will kill you for
Kill
that.
him. Kill Verdi.
Stand back, all of you. Back, I say. Back. And now, my fine friends, since you were so good to return and tried to discourage me from my plan, you four may have the privilege of riding to town with Senate. First you, Pablo.
No, Verdi.
And you, Pedro. And Carlos. And last but not least, Jesus.
No.
Oh, you think you can outrun a bullet, eh? Good, we will see. Run fast. Faster. Caramba, I miss him the first time. That is bad. Oh, Verdi. You are very foolish man at times. Why you let him run so far? Now you have to drag him back only farther.
Back in the Pueblo of Los Angeles, Captain Hope and two of his aides are discussing the recent robberies.
7 homes entered just last night. I tell you, men, we got to get this Sonati or we'll be the laughing stock of Los Angeles.
Why not try and capture a ghost? You know what I think, Captain Hope?
What, Growler?
Sonati isn't working alone. He's got an accomplice on the inside. For instance, last night. Every one of the houses entered last night belonged to someone at the Wolf's party.
By George Crothers, you're right. Someone who was at the party must have tipped Sonati off.
I thought of that some time ago. In fact, I've been working on that theory.
Got anybody in mind?
Yes, Stanton, I have. Have either of you ever given the traitor Moreno much thought?
Moreno? You mean that crazy, egotistical Mexican is the brains behind all these robberies and killings?
Well, he's the most logical. That is, if someone on the inside is tipping off.
But he's such a nice guy.
All the more reason why I suspect him. Why, he doesn't do enough business to stick in your hat. Yet he seems to have plenty of money.
Yes, sir, Captain Hope. I believe you're right. He was at the Wolf's party last night and left early.
That's what I'm getting at. He has entree into all the homes and is able to... Well, I'll be a horned toad. Boys, look who's tying up in front.
Moreno.
Verdi Moreno.
Yeah, Verdi Moreno. With a cart full of dead men. He's coming in.
Where is this, senor?
Ah. Won't you sit down, Mr. Moreno?
Ah, gracias, senor.
Now then, what happened?
Oh, it was nothing, Senor Capitano. I was at the Wolf party last night, you know.
I saw you there.
So? I did not see you. Oh, but that does not matter. I left early. I was tired. When I arrived home, I opened the front door. What do you think happened?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Then I tell you. I heard a slight movement behind me. And turn around quick. And Madre de Dios, it is this Senati. He have a gun.
Where?
You like this story?
Tell me what happened.
Oh, well, I am not afraid. I ask him what he want, and he say me.
You?
See, he say he want me. He want to, what you call, kidnap.
Well, I'll be jiggered. What did you say?
Oh, I tell him I'm a poor man, but he say he don't care. He make me get on horse and ride. There are 2 others with him.
Where did you ride to?
Oh, we ride, well, I don't pay much attention.
Well, but you must know what trail you took out of town.
See, I mean, I was blindfolded. I couldn't see nothing.
Oh, well, go on.
You like the story?
Go on.
Well, we go to their camp. They untie me. Oh, I forgot to tell you. They tie me with strong rope, but now I am untied. So I lie down, pretend to sleep.
What did the rest of the men do?
The rest of the men? Oh, they lie down, too. There are 4 of them by now.
Senati and 4 others? Are they the ones you brought in the cart?
See, they are the ones. I killed them.
Oh, but how in the world could you kill...
It was easy. Oh, no. It was not easy. I have a terrific struggle. I wait till I hear them all snore. Then I crawl over and stab Senati.
Yeah?
He moaned like stuck pig and wake the others. They all jump at me. I kick at them and hit them with my fist. They hit me. Senati made a rush at me and
I thought you said you knifed Senati.
Eh? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you will have to excuse me, Senor Capitan. There's so much happened so quick, I'm all confused. I
understand.
See.
At any rate, you succeeded in killing all 5 and brought them in, huh?
See, that is it. And now the $1,500.
Why, of course, Mr. Moreno. You earned it. I'll bring it over to your house this afternoon.
Oh, that is very nice.
Oh, there's just one other point.
And that?
Granted, you didn't know how you got there or where the camp was. How did you get back to town? How did you know which way to go?
Well, it was easy, Senor Capitan. This morning it is light. I have no trouble at all.
Oh. Well, Mr. Moreno, you've done a most heroic thing, and I shall see that you're properly rewarded and acclaimed for your daring feat of bravery.
Oh, gracias. The $1,500?
I said I'd bring it over to your house this afternoon.
Gracias, Senor Capitan. Gracias.
Although Captain Hope was not quite satisfied with Moreno's story, he could prove nothing to the contrary, and true to his word, delivered the reward as promised. The next 3 days were like a dream to Moreno. He was wined and dined and acclaimed by all the residents as a hero, and each succeeding day found him bolder.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Moreno.
Buenas tardes, Senor Duke.
What can I do for you?
I am temporarily out of funds.
What?
See, the $1,500 I've sent to my mother in Mexico.
Your mother? I never heard you speak of your mother.
No? Oh, that's funny. Maybe I never speak about her before. Can't stop.
Oh, it doesn't matter. What did you wish to raise money on?
I wish to sell this watch.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Was this your watch?
Oh, but of course.
But the initial on the back is W.
Well, that's funny. Let me see it. You are very funny, man. You are looking at it upside down. Turn it this way. Look, it makes M.
Huh?
M, see?
Oh, sure. Well, how much did you want?
$25.
$25? That's a lot of money for a watch.
Oh, but this one, senor, is solid gold. Examine.
I already have. Couldn't you get along on $20?
Senor, $25. It is such a small amount for a man like you. You buy it for $25.
Well, all right, $25.
Bueno, I like you, senor.
You'll have to excuse me for a minute. I don't have that much money in the till. Wait here and I'll get it for you.
Si, Senor Duke, I wait. My horse is outside. I wait with him.
But Charles Duke did not go after more money. Instead, he ran straight to the ranger station and, summoning Captain Hope, returned to the store accompanied by Hope, Stanton, and Crothers. Stealthily, the 4 men approached the front door.
Well, there's his horse. He must still be inside.
Yeah, he's inside all right. Holding on to the reins, see?
What do we do, rush him?
Might as well. You stay back, Mr. Duke.
Yeah, there might be some shooting. Come on, boys.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Moreno. Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, Senor Capitan Hope. What do you want?
I've come to arrest you, Moreno. Stick him up.
Pig, I killed you.
Oh, grab him, boys. Grab him.
Come on.
Well, by George, he was a tough customer. All right, boys, carry him over to the jail. Looks like our super bandit Verde Moreno won't be causing Los Angeles any trouble for a long, long time.
In just a moment, Mr. Myers will conclude our program. Meanwhile, remember, it's easy enough to do the job when the weather is balmy and fair, but the oil worthwhile is the one that can smile when there's more than frost in the air. I mean Realube, which gives you full motor protection even in zero weather. And that goes for Rio Grande Cracked, too, the gasoline of police car performance. And now, Mr. Myers.
Moreno was tried and found guilty of robbery and murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Thanks to the keen wits of Charles Duke, this story shows that gangsters were no more successful in early California than they are today. Then as now, they learned that crime does not pay.
Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars to cancellation of broadcast 269 regarding a holdup. Suspect in this case captured attempting to pawn loot. That's all. Rosenquist.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande.
From January 20th, 1939, calling all cars here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Thank this station. Support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. A reminder, MyPillow.com, our promo code is Wyatt. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Wyatt. Check out the radio listener special, save you a bunch of money. Also, hope you'll visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows on demand. Learn about classic radio collecting of building one of your own. You can also contact me there, find our social media links. You can also buy me a coffee. That buy me a coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections to bring to you here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have a great weekend. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.